Morning YouTube, it's your boy Leo, back with a new video. Today's video is going to be about what life is like living alone. I've been living alone for a few months now, so I'm going to tell you how life really is, my tips, and what I've learned from the whole process. And yeah, if this video gets to you, hopefully it makes you want to live alone and hopefully makes life easier when you're living alone. Well, before we get started on all that, I got to do my morning routine, so come along with me. So firstly, we're going to be doing some stretching. Not really stretching, but just like hip mobility, because for some reason, I have the weakest hips in the world and I'm a football player, so it's not good. So each morning I usually wake up and do this whole routine, and yeah, let's get into it. All done, we get to the next part of the day, which is usually just my devotions and yeah, just reading the Bible, because I believe that if you start the day with God, you're gonna have a good day for sure. So simple as that. So usually I like to do my devotions in the morning, because I find that when I do it at night, like I'm usually like tired, like it's right before I go to bed. So I'm usually tired and I feel like I don't have as good of a connection with God as then. But in the morning, I just like to start my day off like that. Okay, so prayer is done, and yeah, most parts of the morning is kind of completed, and so I've done my mobility, done my devotion. The only thing I really have to do now is just brush my teeth, and when I'm finished brushing, usually the next step is to do my hair, then we'll make food, and we can get right into the nitty-gritty of living alone. Just good as hell. Okay, so now that we're done with the morning routine and we've had our breakfast, we can now get into the real deal of the video. What it's like living alone. I think the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about living alone, and I've been doing it for a few months now, not too long, it's just the freedom and peace it brings, being honest. So I come home from whatever activity I have to do, and I just enjoy being at home. I mean, there is good and bads that come with it, but I think for the most part, it's a good feeling, because I feel like I'm in control of my space and I control the energies I bring into it. So if I keep my place very clean, very tidy, I think that it just brings me peace just to come in my apartment that smells good, looks good, and it just gives me a relaxation. But at times also, I would say that it can be a little lonely. For me personally, the way I combat this is just having a tight group of friends and family that I can always call and rely on. I think that makes the emptiness a little less empty, being honest. I do say I like to invite some of my friends and family over a lot for dinners or just hanging out and watching football, something like that. So it really creates a healthy living space for me, I would say. And again, going back to the whole energy that it brings into my apartment, I feel like it teaches you how to depend on just yourself. Like there's no one to clean for you, like living in your mom's house or make food for you. All those lessons that we're used to people doing for us, you have to just learn to do it by yourself. Over time, you get good at this and it helps you just mature in life. Speaking on to the idea of emptiness, I would like to get into the second part, which is probably like feeling your environment with things you like. So whether it will be in your room, having pictures, having posters, having just anything that kind of just makes wherever your space feels more like home, I say that is definitely something you have to do and need to do. For me, I don't have a lot in my apartment yet, but I feel like my room design is good enough so far that even if when I come home, I feel like I'm at home and I'm at peace with myself. But I do plan on adding a lot more more posters, more designs, and have a better setup for my YouTube videos. So hopefully in the future we get that done. But for now, I just have some plans, and yeah, they're not even real plans, but at least they add something extra to my space. And I have a bunch of shoes just laying around. And for me, it just represents my personality because I'm a big sneaker guy. So whenever I wake up, I look at shoes, I'm like, okay, you know, I like this. Another point I would like to talk about from living alone, what I've experienced and what I've learned is just the idea of time management. It's crazy how much time we can waste when we're not doing anything or when we're just at home. For me personally, I'm a footballer, so I have practice maybe 3-4 hours of the day I'm spending on my sport or just training. So the rest of the time I'm at home and I don't work currently. I just play football and just do some stuff online. So I'm at home for a lot of time. And it's crazy that when you're at home all the time and there's no one really to tell you what to do, you just realize the magnetic force that your bed has to you. Like I swear, I just lay in my bed for, let's say I want to take a nap for like 20 minutes. It can just turn into an hour very, very quick. You can even see this morning, I planned on waking up very early and I ended up staying in bed for an extra hour. So it's just how life works. So I think the idea of time management becomes really important. Just having a schedule of what you want to do in your day. And I feel like for some people, if you do have a real job that you have to go into for a certain amount of hours a day, it does make things a little easier. But for me, I'm always at home. So I feel like I do tend to waste a lot of hours just doing nothing, which I need to be more productive. And that's one of my goals for this year is to be more productive. So hopefully living alone will help me fix my time management issue. And yeah, another thing I also realized from living alone for, I think it's crazy. I think it's been 2-3 months now. It's just that you learn a lot of new skills that you never thought you would learn. Like I swear I never knew how to cook before, or I never knew like the idea of like I did know the idea of cleaning because my parents are really clean freaks, so they really developed my perspective on that. But the idea of cooking, I never really knew how to cook because my mom always used to cook for me. And her food is very, very good. But since living alone, I've learned that, okay, I have to make my own food. I have to learn how to go grocery shopping. And even I remember fixing up my bed when I first got my bed because I thought beds actually just came pre-made. But no, you have to actually like put in the work to do it. So I had to get tools and do all that for myself. Luckily, I did have a neighbor that could help me with that. So that was really cool also. But yeah, I ended up learning how to fix my bed by myself. I learned how to cook by myself. So all these little skills that you need in life, you tend to pick them up when you're living alone because you have to depend on yourself to do all this stuff. Probably the last point I would like to add to this video is I feel like living alone tends to make you a little bit more social. I know this is kind of like reverse psychology because again, you don't have anybody in your house, but how are you going to become more social? But I feel like just the loneliness that you get from it, it tends to make you reach out to more people and just fill your time with love and support that you have from your friends and even your neighbors or just people you meet randomly. Like I tend to like just start talking to people more about my life or just people I don't know. I tend to want to get to know them a little more. I don't know how this works, but for me personally, I'm just an extrovert, so I do just tend to become more social. Maybe it's not because I am living alone. I think that's just me in general. But yeah, I tend to become more social because I love to just share my insight on the world to other people. So yeah, maybe that's not about living alone, but yeah, I would say for the most part, living alone is a very refreshing feeling and something that helps you mature as a person a lot faster because again, you end up depending on yourself. So from my experience so far, and I think it's been 3 months now, it's been really good. I don't think there's any negative so far. Like if there is, maybe I'll make a video about the hard times about living alone, but so far it's all been good and I enjoy it a lot and I don't know how long I'll be living alone. If you guys want a video of why I'm living alone, because I live in Germany right now and I'm Canadian, so just comment down below and maybe I get into that in another video. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you like, comment, and subscribe and check out the other videos I've also made. And yes, I'll catch you guys in the next one.